hand practice exercise from the 24 studies for the left hand by Czerny. So I haven't included a link for you in the description, but before we begin, I need to make sure the sound, the video, everything's working, because we are doing this live, and I don't want to really continue if things suck and they're not working right. So just give just a second here. It looks like we are starting up pretty good. There we go. All right. I think we're good to go. How's everybody doing today? Glad to be with you. We got Piano Man here. Hello, Piano Man. Glad to have you with us. Carl Donner, Shelter Be Green. It looks like it's blue today. It looks welcome out, Carl, though. Glad to have you with us. We got GB back again. Pink and purple. I don't think so. And all right, the Bird 101 with the first like of the day. Come through great, says Bold Caution. We got Barbara here, of course, and then we got Christopher Ward. Welcome out. All right, we are going to get started here. Just give me less than a minute or so. I need to get the Facebook stream started, and then I'm just going to get right on with the lesson. Hello students, your piano teacher Tim here from Piano Lessons on the Web. If it's your first time watching us live, make sure you like our page on Facebook. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed. You have all notifications turned on by hitting that bell notification, because we have new lessons coming out all the time and you don't want to miss a beat. So today we are talking about left hand exercises, so we're going to get right on into it. Just give me a couple seconds here just to get my notes up, and it's always a good idea to follow notes, because if I don't, it might not turn out the best. Ooh, I need to get my notes up. All right, everybody, just give me a couple of seconds here. I have the exercises up. I just need to get my notes. So feel free to say hello in the chat in the meantime. If it's your first time or you are a returning student, always would love to hear from you. Okay, just give me a couple more seconds here. I'm almost there. There we go. All right. Incoming. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to do an intro, and then we'll continue. I'm willing to bet you're looking for some exercises to train that left hand, bring it up to that next level. Well, your piano teacher Tim has you covered again, because I'm going to show you some really, really good exercises for the left hand. Let's get to it. Okay, to break this lesson down, first I'm going to introduce you to what these exercises are, what they're called, and then I'm going to break down into more detail just how these are going to train your left hand. Okay, let me make sure everybody's good here. All right, it looks like everybody's good. Great. KK. Okay, these exercises are the 24 studies for the left hand by our boy Czerny once again. We have talked about exercises by him before, and these, along with the other ones I've taught you about, are just as important and just as useful. Okay, obviously there's 24 exercises here to keep you busy, so obviously you just want to start with the first one, work your way through these. I would almost treat these like a piece where, because these aren't exactly like a lot of the exercises we've had before, where they're very rudimentary, these are more, these patterns are more like what you would see in a real piece. So I would treat them like pieces, and I would work on them like one exercise at a time, maybe spend a week or two on it, however long it takes you to get it to a satisfactory level. It doesn't need to be absolutely perfect before moving on, but it sure helps to get like a lot of the fingering right, or all the fingering right, all the notes right, all the rhythms right, and things like that. So make sure you spend an ample time on each one. Don't run through all 24 all at once. All right, let me show you how these are going to help you out. Okay. Okay, the first reason these are really going to help you is that these are great exercise for playing scale patterns. Scales, if you don't know, it's basically when you play all the notes in a key from the starting note to that same note, then any sharps or flats in between. You're going to see these in your music literally all the time. So by getting the practice in here, all the finger technique and everything kind of carries over. So you're going to see these patterns again and again, and you're going to be used to them because you've practiced these exercises. Scales in particular also are great for practicing simple finger crosses and just simple finger technique. Also, by learning your scales, it also helps you become more familiar with what notes exist in a key. So what I'm talking about is when you are learning your scales, and each scale obviously has a certain number of sharps or flats. Well, as you get better and better at playing those scales, for instance, if I learn the G scale, which actually is in this example here, I will know that there's an F sharp there right before the G again. So if I have any songs in the key of G, I will know where that sharp is located. Same with any other scale. So the key of D has 2 sharps, F and C. So by practicing these, you're going to have a much better idea on exactly what notes are going to be included in the pieces you're playing. Pretty important, I would say, wouldn't you? Okay, another great pattern that this is going to train you for are arpeggio patterns. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So in the beginning here we have scale patterns, and that happens for the first 3 lines or so, but in certain areas we start to have arpeggio patterns. So let me get the piano up here. So instead of playing all the notes in a row, what an arpeggio does is instead of playing a chord, as you may know, chords, 3 or more notes usually. Instead of playing the chord all at once, you're playing the notes separately. And there's a certain finger technique that goes along with those, especially if you're playing them multiple octaves. So throughout these exercises, you're going to see arpeggios like sparingly in some of them, and then some of them it's going to be like a lot of arpeggios over and over. Like even this first one here uses a lot of scales and arpeggios, but you will find some later on that are just arpeggios. So it's really, really important you get that practice. The benefits you're going to get from practicing arpeggios are all the same ones from what you get from playing scales, such as your finger crosses, things like that. So I'm not going to go over that in much detail. But again, you're going to see arpeggios so much in your music moving forward that it's a really, really good idea to get the practice for them in these exercises. All right. Okay, and just to run down some other patterns that you're going to come across and that these are great for practicing. For this example here, with the left hand, you have this pattern in thirds here. Again, why is this important? Well, not only does it help you kind of develop dexterity in your left hand, but it also is a pattern obviously you're going to see in music a lot, but this one's really cool because you are really getting practice switching between fingers 5 and 3, 2 and 4, 1 and 3. So you're really using a mix of fingers here all at once. So great practice for that. Some other things that you're going to see. Let me get my notes out here because I want to make sure I hit on all this stuff. Alberti bass, yeah. Let me see if I can find some Alberti bass for you guys. So just give me a second to find an example. Yeah, it's not really Alberti bass, but I know there's one somewhere in here, but I'll kind of just demonstrate it. There are some other great patterns that can't talk today. There's some other great patterns that you're going to find in these exercises that you're going to find in your music, some of which, oh wait, I already did the thirds, hold on. I'm getting confused here. Another pattern that you're going to see in these exercises that you're going to see in your music all the time are something like the Alberti bass. Now, you've probably seen this in your music before, but that's basically where you have a chord pattern, but instead of playing the notes from bottom to top, you're going to play them bottom, top, middle, top, bottom, top, middle, top. And you'll see those in your music all the time. Great practice for those. Let's look at some other patterns here. Okay. Hold on. Oh, jumping gaps, right, okay. See, I'm glad I take notes here because there would definitely be things I would forget in the lesson. All right, here we go. Another great thing that's going to help you practice is jumping up large distances, large gaps on the keyboard, which is something that a lot of students struggle with. So let me show you what's going on here. So in some of these pieces, like this number 4 in particular, you have this bass pattern here where you're hitting the chord below, and you immediately have to make that jump up to the B flat chord. Let me show you what that looks like on the piano. So you have to go all the way down from here up to here. And then it changes chord. So it's really good practice in getting that down. Hold on. Oh, that's what it is. Yeah. Hold on. So it's really good practice in hitting chords large distances. And as you can see, as the piece continues, it changes chords. So you're going to get a pretty good mix of not just hitting the same note to the same chord, but changing them throughout time. Okay. Oh, great. Okay. Perfect. Yes. All right. Let me get this up. Hold on. Just looking for the best example to illustrate what we're doing here. Yeah, number 1 actually works good. All right, here we go. And one of the best things you're going to get out of these exercises is that they will help train you playing a dominant left hand pattern, that's the left hand, while you have a right hand accompaniment, which is like kind of the secondary pattern that backs up the primary pattern, usually the melody of the piece. Now, why is this good practice? Well, and I would say 90% of the pieces out there, certainly not 100, but most of them, you have your accompaniment, the background in your left hand, and the feature, the melody, in your right hand. Well, these are swapped, so now you're getting more practice making your dominant hand, the more featured ones, playing it out a little bit louder while you're dialing back your right hand. And you can see that evident just in the piece here, the number 1 here, where you have this chord just in your right hand, and that's all the right hand's doing, is just playing these chords. As you can see, it's just kind of a background part there, and then when you're playing these chords, you have the left hand with the most activity going on. So as you can see, a lot more going in the left hand than what's going on in the right hand, and you will see this in your music coming up, and this is especially important to practice if you're right-handed. Yes, if you're right-handed and used to playing your right hand out louder, because this time you're actually trying something different. And it's always good to be as versatile as you can as a musician. So even though there's a set of things you're good at and a set of things you're less good at, if there's that set of things you're less good at, you want to spend that extra time and attention. And I feel that the people that are right-handed struggle with their left hand more. People that are left-handed struggle with their right hand more. And I will be making some right hand videos in the future if you're wondering. All right, everybody, I'm going to check in with the chat, kind of make sure everything is running smoothly still. Looks like everything's doing pretty well. All right, Coldplay. Okay. All right, hopefully everybody's doing well. Fanny says, thanks for your constantly more demanding exercises because I tend to rely on the last time achievements and become lazy. I'm the same way. Not so much recently, but definitely I've definitely been there in the past. But I'm glad you like the progression. I'm sorry, I don't really like that song. Maybe you have another suggestion? I don't know. Are you guys having a probably Oh, you're talking about Coldplay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know much about Coldplay. I just know the song Clocks. That's about it. And probably some others. I'm probably more familiar with them than I think. Okay, great. Hey, Blaine's here. It's been a while. That's true. Glad to be watching. Glad that you're here, for sure. So welcome out. Glad to have you back with us. Okay, everybody. Here we go. I'll have to check in with Jeremy soon. Make sure he's doing okay. But, all right. Here we go. We're going to continue now. I always just like to check in because if I don't and something goes wrong, I'm in trouble. Here we go. If you're finding this lesson helpful so far, make sure you smash that like button because it lets other students know that this is a quality lesson they can learn from as well. All right, back to the lesson. Okay, you know what though? Looking through my notes, I think in terms of the actual main chunk of the lesson, that's it, because I went through all the patterns that you find pretty much, and then how it's going to help you get better at your left hand. So I think I pretty much covered everything. Does anybody have any questions about playing with your left hand or the exercises today? All right, let me just kind of say hello to some people in the chat here. By the way, the live stream we had on Friday, that video, I'm going to put the edited version out probably next Saturday. That's going to turn out really good, so make sure you're on the lookout for that. All right, the Bird 101 says, hey, Tim, I'm excited. I'm starting my first college class on Tuesday. Well, congratulations. I remember when I started college, and it's definitely a different experience. Very exciting, though. So congratulations, and I hope you have fun. Let us know how it works out for you. Okay. It's true, left hand is hard for me. Yeah, a lot of people struggle with the left hand. And last time, I have found great for left hand. Okay, Edward Weiss, waiting for spring. Okay, interesting. Might want to check that out. Doing good, says Sigirdia. Apologize for butchering your name. I'm sorry, I don't really like that. Okay, that was from before. All right, everybody seems like they're doing good. Glad to have everybody out with us. I think while maybe some more comments or questions are coming in, let me walk you guys through a couple of things, like what's coming up, what to expect. Always like to do that. So over on my website, pianolessonsontheweb.com, if you click on the community tab up top, this is for people who attend the live stream. And we meet at, I know it says 8 p.m. still, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fridays and Sundays. One thing you want to keep in mind is that if you're interested in attending on a regular basis, what you should do is fill out this email form right here, and you're going to get an email reminder 30 minutes before we meet. And just kind of telling you that we are meeting again next Friday. I don't know about next Sunday. I'll kind of be in contact with you guys about that. I'll definitely let you know by next Friday. But as you scroll down the page, you can see the calendar of what we're talking about and when. In the next couple of days, I will be filling out the topics for June. I do know what they are. I just need to put them on the calendar. So check back every now and again just to see what we're talking about and when. We're going to be talking about the circle of fifths and key signatures next time. And yeah, I'm going to try to make it as clear and easy of an explanation as possible. I've done circle of fifths videos before, but I'm going to try to add in some values and some tips, value and tips that you may have not seen already. Zainab says, sorry for the spelling. I have been practicing these exercises for some time. I am keen for the left hand. All right, great. Glad to hear that. He says, sorry for occasionally repeating myself. Well, not a problem. Do you have any exercises that practice left hand independence? Well, you know what? Like these ones are probably pretty good for that, right? So because you want your left hand to move independently of your right hand. And these ones are pretty good for that because you really have very simple patterns in your right hand while a lot of the activity is going on in your left hand. So that will train your left hand to become independent from your right hand, rather than playing the same thing between each hand, which is what you want to start with, by the way. You don't want to start with something where you're playing something different between each hand independently. You want them both playing the same thing at first. So things like scales are great for that, because you're literally playing the same note just an octave apart. Czerny exercises, things like that. But these exercises are really good for what you stated. I would say that they're probably towards the top. There are more Czerny exercises out there, of course. Question: how to plan all these practice exercises, perhaps what order to be proficient, a sequence of overlapping goals. So do what I, bold caution, do what I basically just said. Work on exercises that focus on playing the same thing between each hand first. You know, that you don't want to play something where you're doing different stuff right away anyway. I mean, some people can handle that. Most people cannot. I probably wasn't when I started. You're probably not. So do it that way. Learn your scales first, then Hannon, then Czerny, then do like these ones with the left hand exercise. So that's the order I would learn them in. Learn them in the order of how different are the patterns between each hand. Are they if they're the same, start with those, and then as they get different, build on from there. All right, let's see. The Burr 101 says, whenever I look for a piece for a long time, I get less interested because of the stress of the piece. Okay. Oh, when you work on it, I got you. I'm wondering how to not get stressed over a long piece. I get the same thing. And sometimes if it's a really long piece, I'll even kind of take a break. Like say it's a really long piece. Say it's 10 pages just for the sake of simplicity's sake. And you learn the first 3 and you're just feeling burnt out on it. And you feel like you're going to give up on it. Well, what you should do is maybe treat the 3 pages that you've learned like a piece in itself. Keep practicing those. You wouldn't want to waste your time and learn the first 3 pages and then just totally desert the piece. So learn those first 3 pages, and say you're starting to feel burnout around the 3rd page. So just keep practicing just the 3 pages. Don't continue yet. Maybe learn something new in the meantime to kind of get your brain to focus on something else. And then maybe after that piece, then go back and maybe learn the next 3 pages of the other piece. Because I've had that before where I've learned a large scale piece. I get tired of it like halfway through. And then what I'll do is I'll just learn the other half. Take a little break, learn something new, and then learn the other half later on. And that just helps break it up. That's how I am with practicing in general, where if I practice the same piece for like an hour, I just feel like I'm not getting as much out of it anymore. So what I do is I'll practice the one piece for half an hour, maybe spend 15 minutes on another piece, and then come back, spend another half an hour on the piece I'm really working on. Can I play Czerny 740 stuff? Probably, if I practiced it first. Probably not sight reading, at least not at full speed. Like, these exercises aren't that difficult, but Czerny does have some exercises that are more difficult, for sure. Great, I just have to first hand and exercises down, and I'll just stick to that. Great, yeah, do that for now. Perfect. All right, any other comments or questions today? A little bit shorter of a lesson, which I'm kind of thankful for, because the lesson, this morning I was editing the lesson that we were doing on Friday. On Friday, so I can release it next week. And it's going to be a long one. It's going to take me a while to edit too, so I'm glad today's one is a little shorter. It makes it a little easier to edit. Plosh, we call you Plosh. Can you tell me more about using fingers on keys? Okay. It should always stay in one place, or it depends on the style you play. That's kind of a loaded question. Okay, let me just kind of give you like a good short answer that answers your question well. It should always stay in one place. So the answer is no, you shouldn't always stay in one place. However, when you're first learning, the pieces that you learn in the beginning ideally are not going to involve vast hand movements all the way around. You're going to be staying in one place in the beginning, and that's really where you want to start. You do not want to start where your hands are moving all the way, one place. So things like nursery rhymes are great. Things like, Christmas songs, a lot of them, not all of them, but like Jingle Bells. Let me show you. I get in this hand position here. I play Jingle Bells. See how my hand doesn't really move position a whole lot? So that's really what you kind of want to start with going there. Let me get you a link to a lesson I did a while back on this that I think can explain it a little bit better than I could. And I'll give that to you. So just give me less than a minute here, and I'll get that for you. There we go. I can usually never find this one for some reason, but here we go. All right. Okay, here you go. Finger technique. Check out that lesson. I think that'll help clarify it in a little more detail than I can right now. Okay, Fanny says that's exactly how I feel about it. I keep working on at little 2 pieces at a time. Let me get the chat up here. And but focus on one each time. Okay, all the while I repeat all the previous ones, as many as possible of them. Okay, sounds pretty reasonable. Sounds good. Thanks a lot, says Plash. You're very welcome. Tim, do you collect a lot of music pieces? You know what? For years I collected music books. Well, not really like collecting. I guess you could call it collecting. It's not collecting like where I really went out to collect these pieces. It's just over time, through teaching and learning, I happen to collect a lot of music books. However, I'm trying to shift things more to digital more and more. Now, don't get me wrong. I like a good old-fashioned sheet music book. It's easy to turn the pages relatively, or you can photocopy them and lay them out. You can do that with the things online as well. But honestly, there's a point to where it's like, all right, I can have this big shelf in my house with music books on it, or I can condense all of that into like a tablet and take that one tablet with me, or even put them all on the cloud so I can really access them from any device. So I can bring a tablet with me and I have every piece on there. For me, that works so much better than lugging like books around, or the thing that I would always come across was I would think of a song that I wanted to play, and I would have to trudge through all these books to find it because, well, I didn't really have a shelf where I could alphabetize them. That was a problem. I had them all in like a bin. In fact, the bin's right there. So I did end up getting rid of some of them. Okay, Filthy Will says, today is my 1-month anniversary of starting piano in Tim's courses. Glad to hear that, Will. It has been extremely helpful. The structured courses are great if you're looking for a good path to follow at your own pace. So yeah, over on my website, pianolessonsontheweb.com, I have courses I designed to help you learn more about piano and music. So not only like if you're a beginner and you just found out about my stuff and you need a really good solid foundation to build on, these courses are going to help you with that. But also, if you've been following me for a while, you know a lot of the stuff already. There's also courses that take you beyond what I've taught you here on YouTube by quite a bit. And a lot of the topics, if I do cover them on YouTube ever, I'm not going to cover them in as much detail. So these are courses. You're not just going to learn something and move on. You're really going to be learning these concepts throughout the whole course. You're going to be practicing them in the pieces and exercises I give you. And then you're going to be just mastering them because we're going to be going over them over a longer stretch of time. We're really going to is really better in placing these concepts so they don't seem so abstract, but you really start to see how they come together. Let's see. Sorry if that was a tough topic, but it's great to ask anyone about those things. That's okay, Plash. I not a problem at all. I do like to see comments that or questions that are related to what we're talking about, but I didn't mind yours. I thought yours was pretty good. I could answer it in a relatively short amount of time. So yeah, no problem at all. And actually, if we're done the main part of the lesson, you can ask more random questions, and I'll more likely to answer them. But no problem at all. Laredo says, Tim, what makes trills different from rolls? Do they refer to one or the same thing? No, because so a roll at least if I'm interpreting it right, a roll is the same as like an arpeggio, except you do it real quick. And that's like with the chord with the little squiggly underneath it. Whereas a trill is you're alternating between two notes. You're alternating between the primary note that's written, that's the big note of the trill, and then you have the little note next to it. And you just alternate between those really quick, usually using the pedal. So that's what a trill is, and then a rolled chord is that. I just got a tablet. It's been different for music for me. Yeah, it's different. I both like it better and don't like it better than sheet music. The one thing that I'm still trying to get used to is, and maybe I just need the right software that has the right kind of feature to do this, but I'm looking for something to where I can shift pages easier. Because like for me, it's easier to grab a page and move it across real quick, like that. Whereas on the tablet, like I have to do that. I do have a page down button, but the thing is like it never gets it quite right. Like it jumps to the next page, but it's like never like quite centered right, and that's the thing I don't like about it. The other thing I like about digital sheet music is you can zoom in. Now, what's good about that, other than if you're losing your eyesight? I'm not, at least as far as I know. I can see pretty well. But it's also good for focusing in on just a few measures. So what we tend to do a lot, I can actually show you this example right here. I've mentioned this a lot in the past, how when you start a piece, obviously you want to start from the beginning, but over time you're going to find problem areas where you don't want to start from the beginning all the time. Well, when you have the music zoomed out like this, it's really tempting to go back to the beginning because the beginning's kind of in sight here. So what I do when I want to work on a specific line, I make it really, really big to where that's the only thing that's on the page. Not only can it help me see every detail better, but it also helps me realize like, hey, this is the line I'm working on. I'm not working on anything above it or below it. I can't even see it. Whereas if I'm like this, I'll jump between lines a lot better. So that's one major advantage, I think, that a lot of people don't really consider with digital sheet music. So there's definitely drawbacks and pluses for each. But like this, like say I zoom this out and then I hit page down. See, it never pages down right. Like that's what the page down is for. So I'm on this page, I want to get to the next page, and it's like halfway. Like I don't know if there's a way to fix that, or whether it works better if it's zoomed in. I don't know. No, it doesn't. It works worse when it's zoomed in. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just just not using it right. But there's got to be some solution. I would like anybody that's designing a piece of software is listening. I doubt it. I would love just like a button that you press and it flips to the next page. There's got to be something like that where it's like the corner of the page, right where you would flip the page or grab it, just, hit it. I had a pedal, though, that turned pages too, and that thing, I didn't like it at all. Anyway, back to, I went off on a tangent. Back to reality here. Dude, fast trill. Yeah, it takes a long time to get fast trills, or trills fast. And I'm still not perfect at them. I know some people that can really bang them out to where they're really, really nice, nicely and smooth. Maybe if you use a PDF viewer, that's true. There's got to be a thing that works like that, where it has a feature like that. All right, somebody said what was it, F11? Isn't F11, oh, is that the full screen? Wait, hold on. Wait, why isn't this not work? Oh, yeah, maybe that. Hold on. No, that still doesn't work right. Oh, let me show you what I'm doing. The page down still doesn't work right. See, it should take you to the second page, but it only... That's so weird. I don't know. If somebody has a good solution, let me know. Oh, yeah, F11. Hold on. Okie doke. Acrobat possibly. Okay, Windows Preview. Okay, so I'll try out a bunch of like other viewing software to see if there's a better one. You know what? Fanny brings a good point because I brought this up with a student of mine. I said, wouldn't it be awesome if there was one that was voice activated? So you could just say turn page and it would turn. And that would be awesome, I think, if you're just practicing by yourself because nobody cares if you say, all right, turn page. Turn page. Or turn. Just say turn. Turn has a voice recognition thing in it, which, you know, all cell phones have nowadays. Just say turn. Turn. That's fine. But what she brought up to me, she was like, well, what if I'm playing for like a group? They're not going to want to hear me in a recital go, turn, turn, or, you know, when you're playing in public or anything. Mia Man says, thanks to him for the lesson. You're very welcome. You're looking for next page feature, not page down technically. Yes. So is there like a shortcut for that? Oh, you know what? There's an end button. What is end button? I just assume end button was end of the world button. It ended the world. Let me try the end button. No, oh, that's right. It takes you all the way to the end, and home takes you all the way up. So I need something in between where it's page, where it's next page, yeah. I'm thinking that on a Mac you use the arrows, could work on Windows. You can use them, but they don't shift up or down enough. It works better with iBooks, yeah. All right, everybody. Hey, Peter Baltox here, late again. That's okay, Peter. Acrobat might have that, I forget. Yeah, there's got to be something out there, though. And there's got to be like, I'll figure it out. You know what? If I can figure out all this and the YouTube, I can figure out this thing. All right, everybody. I'm trying to think about what else I have to tell you. I think I covered a lot of the bases. Let's hear. Michael Gordon says Tim, it's quite an expensive option, but have you heard of gvidomusic.com? Nope. They have a dual screen digital music reader that you can also compose on. That's pretty cool. I don't know. I'm going to kind of look this up now. So just hold on, everybody. Whoa. Oh, you're talking about this thing. I've seen this. I don't understand why it's so freaking expensive, though. $1,600. Oh, wait. You guys can't even see what I'm talking about. So what this is that this is a tablet that's pretty solely used for like manuscript paper or sheet music paper, where you can write on it, you can take notes, you can compose on it, I think. But the thing is, for $1,600, you can buy like this laptop that I'm using right now that does like the thing is, like, I just don't understand why it's $1,600 for something that just reads music. You know what I mean? Like, you can buy a full laptop. And I get that it's specifically designed for reading music and it's probably superior than like a tablet or a laptop for that. But, you know, if it was like half the price, maybe. Even then, I think that would just be expensive. But yeah, I've heard of this, definitely. Definitely. Okay. That would be funny. I mean, people made robots, so we should have fixed the piano page turning problem by now. Yeah, there should be a robot. Or, you know, eye tracking. Eye tracking would be really cool because, say, there's just a spot at the bottom of the page, and if you look at it for like 2 seconds, it'll turn the page. That would be cool. It can't be too sensitive, though, where if you just glance at it by accident, it does it, but there's got to be something like that. Only fans here, no tech nerds. Okay, sorry about that. It's very expensive. Yeah, I agree. Very serious name also. I'd rather spend that on a keyboard. Yeah, you could buy a banging keyboard. Like $1,700, you can buy a keyboard that's as good or better than mine, and it's going to last you forever. Like, these Roland keyboards, you know, are tanks. It's too expensive to be even on the website, says the bird. I love it. Yeah, that's way expensive. It should be 400. You know, if it was 400, I'd be down because I'd be like, yeah, that's kind of expensive, but you know, it does one thing. I know you don't like that, but I do use Synthesia. Boo! Just kidding. Sheet music view will only. Okay, well that's better for practicing. Okay. Sheet music runs through as you play correctly. Well, that's actually better. That's better than the light up bars for sure. All right, everybody. I think I'll be out for 3. Oh, okay. I want to. Peter says Peter will be out for 3 weeks. He wishes us all a great time in front of the piano. Well, thank you so much, Peter. I really appreciate it. Glad you could make it out today. And I'll try to remember that you won't be here for 3 weeks. I might be wondering about it, but hopefully I'll remember. Best of luck to you in whatever your pursuits are. Okay, everybody. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do an outro. So when I piece together the video, it's really good. And then I have something to tell you after that. So stick around for another few minutes, and then we'll wrap up after that. So let me do like a formal outro. I'm not going anywhere yet, to let you know, because there's something else to tell you. All right, here we go. Let's see, what did we talk about today? Left-hand Czerny. Okay. If you're looking for more exercises and more practice with your left hand, check out some of the other videos I have on the channel around that topic. Also, if you want some two-handed piano training, mixing these with these, well, you definitely want to check out this playlist right here. It's been your piano teacher, Tim. Thanks for coming by today. You have a great day, and I'll see you in the next lesson. All right, everybody. Still here. Oh yeah, this is what I want to tell you guys. Watch the video that I just put out today. Let me get you a link, because if there's one thing you guys can do, if you're ever wondering like how to help me out, maybe you don't have any money to buy courses over on my website, maybe you can't give a super chat for whatever reason, but you do have a little bit of free time. One thing you can do that will help me immensely is when I put out a new video, that obviously you want to watch the video. If you like the video, but only if you liked it, if you found it helpful, leave a like on it. That helps me out too. But one thing you want to do is you want to watch as much of the video as possible. You want to watch through all the way if you can, but as much as possible. The one thing you don't want to do is watch the new video and then jump off of it right away, because that hurts me. So a lot of the videos are ranked depending on how long people are watching on average. So that's one thing you can help me with. But only like if you find the lesson helpful. Don't just do it for the sake of doing it, but just throwing that out there that engaging with the lessons and then also watching them as long as you can, that would be a huge help. So this one is the lesson I just posted today. This is how to play canon in D. This is the tips and tutorial for that. So check this out. Oops, that was weird. Oh, that's so weird. When I write canon in D, oh, this will work. Okay, here you go. Here you go. So just check out that lesson I posted today if you haven't seen it already, and make sure to watch it. If you've been interested in learning the canon in D, that's where you want to do it. Okay, everybody, thanks for coming out today. Peter is on his first holiday in 2 years. Well, congratulations, Peter. Hopefully I will be on a holiday sometime soon. Well, I've been on holiday. I just haven't really gone anywhere for a while, so I need to do that at some point now that I have the house bought and everything and I moved in. Okay, well, thanks for everybody for coming out. Thanks, Filthy Will. Thanks, Peter. Laredo, of course. Have another great day, and a GB, of course. Kennedy, amazing tune. I agree, Zanman. Thanks for coming by today. And I think you're new out here. Anybody new, like Filthy Will, feel free to come back anytime. Really glad to have you guys out with us today. Let me get a drink here. I knew I was forgetting something. Yeah, and it's something besides a web browser. Yeah, I've tried PDF Viewer. All right, anyway. The link for the Czerny exercises doesn't work for me. Wait. Let me do this before we adjourn. Oh, weird. Why? Oh, that's weird. Why does it do that? You know, it always cuts off, whenever I get the link to this page, it always cuts off the last parenthesis. So you're actually just missing a parenthesis here. Hold on. There you go. Try that out. Let me edit the description. Make sure that that is all good. Yeah, I don't know why that happens. That's weird. The parentheses in there. Yeah, I don't know. How am I going to get that right? Well, I'll have to figure that out later after the live stream. I have it typed in there right, but I'm just missing the parenthesis. Oops. All right, it looks like... Wait, hold on. And then we'll say goodbye. Oop. We're almost at 100,000, folks. Getting close. Getting close. Not that it matters, but I mean, it kind of does. It matters in that there are 100,000 students learning. Shall we use the metronome? Yes. Yes, I am new. Thank you. You're very welcome, Zamman. Thanks for coming by. And thanks everybody else for coming by. It's been your piano teacher, Tim. Have a great week. I'm going to see you again on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, talk to you then. It's been your piano teacher, Tim here. Have a great one, and talk to you soon.